Alright guys, let's do another video. I'm thinking the 10 things I hate about my Jeep Grand Cherokee. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this at lower speeds just because this car is a little bit on the louder side. So the audio in the last video was a little bit loud. I don't have a mic yet, so that's really why I'm kind of driving. I'm driving before I get on the highway. Number one on the list of things I hate about my Jeep Grand Cherokee is the gas mileage. Predictably, a bigger, heavier SUV is not gonna get the greatest gas mileage. And that's really not why I bought it. I have the 4.7 liter V8, so it's not expected it's going to be a fuel efficient vehicle, but currently my average miles a gallon is 14.3 right now. Keep in mind I was driving in the city for the last couple days, so that's gonna make it decrease a little bit. But it's just way worse than I could have ever imagined, and so the gas mileage is just terrible. Number two is gonna be the size of the gas tank. This kind of relates the same way, but since the gas mileage is so bad, it has a 20.5 gallon tank, I just find myself filling up way too frequently. This guy does not have a stop sign. So anyway, sorry. So the tank just seems too small for how bad the fuel economy is. I find myself in the mid to late 200 miles per tank, which I guess isn't horrendous. But I don't know, I would have just expected it would be at least 22, 23 gallons. I know that most cars aren't that big now anyways, but the fuel tank just seems too small for being an SUV. Number three is going to be the handling. This Jeep just has so much wallow in the turns. It's hard to place on the road. It wanders so much. It's a little bit, I wouldn't say scary at higher speeds, but it's definitely not as comfortable as a regular vehicle. It seems that the shocks might need to be replaced because it has 138,000 miles now, but still it's just very wallowy and it's not confidence inspiring. Number four is the turning radius. It just seems like every time I pull in a parking spot I have to do a 3-point turn. I mean, I know I'm not used to it, but it just seems like no matter how tightly I turn it, I'm still figuring my way into a spot, and I look kind of like a doofus, and I just hate that. So the turning radius on this car is just really not that good. Number five is gonna be, what's number five? Number five is going to be the seating position. It just seems that I want to lower my driver's seat. I feel like I'm not a tall guy, but I feel like I'm just sitting too high in this car. It's not that I'm too high for the road, but I'm too high for the driving position. It just seems that I should be able to go maybe an inch lower. I don't know what the deal is. I can't imagine what it would be like for a taller individual to sit. It just seems like they'd be unnecessarily high in the driving position. Number six is the horn. I'm not gonna honk it right now because there's cars in front of me. Actually, I'm gonna honk it just to see. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. Let me open the window here. All right, here we go. Maybe it doesn't sound that bad, but it's literally the girliest horn you've ever heard. It's like the horn is higher pitched than like a Honda Civic or something. It seems like a Volkswagen Beetle would have this horn, so it's embarrassing. I feel like there's actually a problem with it. Maybe it's partially broken or something. I've heard of that before. Number 7 is going to be the road noise. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, it's just loud in this car. The wind noise is loud just because it's kind of a squared vehicle. It's not going to have very good aerodynamics. which I understand. Obviously the shape is going to influence the amount of road noise, but also the transmission is just so loud. When I'm accelerating, you can hear it. It's not a whining, but you can definitely tell when there's acceleration. That's probably most of the noise that you're going to be hearing in this video, is the stupid transmission. And I don't know if there's an issue with it or whatever. It seems to be okay for the age of the vehicle, but I don't understand why the transmission is so loud, and the road noise just seems louder than it needs to be. Number 8 is the jerkiness of the transmission. So overall, the four-wheel drive is good. From my experience, it performs very well, but unfortunately, when I'm accelerating after I've been coasting, so you let off the gas and then you get back on it, just normal driving, not flooring it or anything, it's just very jerky. Like when it grabs the gear, it's like you are almost like letting out the clutch all the way, if it were a manual car or something like that. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I'm not really sure why it's so jerky. It might be just because of the age, and I know some of the transmissions in these vehicles are not known to be the most reliable. It seems to shift okay. The actual shifting is fine, but the acceleration once you're already coasting is just very clunky, I guess is a good way of saying it. Number 9 is the amount of power that this car has. This 4.7 liter V8 has 230 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque, which I guess is not super low, but it's 4,600 pounds and it's an SUV. I just think that it needs more. That's why I got the V8, is because I knew it was going to be a heavy car, but I just find myself wanting the Hemi. I don't care if I get 2 less miles a gallon, at least I'm going to be able to get up and go at normal speeds. The 0 to 20 or whatever is fine because it's fairly torquey. I just wish this Jeep would have a little bit more power for what it is. I know that you can get a tune and other kind of things like that, and I've explored it, but it seems pretty expensive. So for now I'm just gonna have to deal with it. Number 10 is gonna be the overall quality of this car. So this is a limited package, which means in my other video of the 10 things I loved, I mentioned about all the nice creature comforts and amenities that this car comes with. It has automatic everything, heated seats, dimming mirrors, everything like that, that a lot of luxury cars have. But around, it's just plasticky, and I guess it's nice to clean, but usually you find more harder plastics, but they're still fairly rubbery. So I just find myself a little bit unimpressed about the quality of the materials inside. The amenities it has are great, but the overall quality is not good. I can hear a lot of noise through the doors, and every time the stereo is turned up more than like 7, the doors are rattling because of the bass, and it's not even an aftermarket system. So that's just very, very cheap doors. The doors feel fine, like when you close them, they feel fairly decent quality. But everything else is just bad. I don't know. I expected a limited trim Jeep Grand Cherokee, which competes with the the X5s and some Audis and things like that. I know that those are a little higher price range, but still, you think it would be a little bit nicer in here. Especially the quality of the doors. I don't get why it's so crappy. I need to put some dynamite. Oh my God! And there's a ladder in the road. Holy crap! I need to get over to, because I am not paying attention. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to put another video out about my critiques and comments about this car and kind of owning it for a little bit of time here. So I already put out the 10 things I love about my Jeep Grand Cherokee, so I'll put a link in the description and a link in this video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was informative, and look for the 10 things I hate about my BMW. That one's going to be coming out soon, along with a couple other ones. So appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below, and thanks so much for watching. See you next video.